Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching The Dragon Prince Season 1 Episode 4 Bloodthirsty, which I imagine is everybody at the moment in the show other than our intrepid four. I am excited to see where they go next in their journey. I'm kind of nervous because I don't know that they're the most qualified bunch, but I'm sure they'll get through it. Thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring this show and for all of your support on Patreon, and let's go. She knows their dad's dead. And that won't come off until they kill Ezran. Let me be less obvious about it. He's onto you.
So what? I'm talking to my ribbon thing. How is that any worse than talking to a... whatever it is you are?
Yeah. I'm on his team. Fuck. Announcing the king's death. Jesus, they move fast. Is he gonna lie in state? Like, at this rate I feel like the mage killed him. He was already dead when he exited the room.
A funeral so soon is madness.
Mm-hmm.
It is tradition to mourn fallen kings for 7 sunsets. You've not even given him one.
We must move forward.
Not this soon. He hasn't even had one sunset. It's not even the morning after. It's the night he died. What are you covering up? Or is this a power grab because you know the princes aren't here?
Wait. Where are the princes?
Uh-huh.
They need to be here.
Mm-hmm.
The princes are dead.
Power grab. Yep. Thing is, he knows they're not dead, but that does mean he's immediately going to be secretly trying to murder them.
No.
Fuck. I mean, this is a family making moves for the throne. But yeah, that's so respectful. Blowing the king's body up.
Dies. We mourn for 7 days. We must mourn 7-fold. For tonight, there will be a coronation.
Oh, convenient. Do they know yet?
Callum? Callum. Hey! That's your name, right? Callum? Clem? Or was it Camel?
Callum.
You do know what the 6 primal sources are.
If I say yes, are you gonna make me name them?
He needs mage lessons.
Primal stones are incredibly rare. They've been sought after by the most powerful archmages.
And now Callum has one.
And now, somehow you have one.
Yeah.
Zadie is to the east, right? So is the lodge. It's on the
But
way.
you were expected at the lodge, right?
Sure, it won't be crawling with humans. Humans that are looking for you and want to kill me. Yay!
I want to kill him.
Oh, it's the Winter Lodge. Rayla.
Freyla,
Princes
thank
are
you.
supposed to be good at things. Sword fighting, leadership, riding horses.
You're good at
I've
drawing.
been kind of bad at, well, everything. And then you called me a mage, and that felt right.
Yeah.
Let's go get your cube.
Really?
Yes. Just please. No more detours, alright? Or heartfelt speeches.
I don't feel like we can say yes to either of those things. We need a bag or some kind of container that hides the eggs if we run into anybody else. And preferably while we're in human land, she needs a hood or something.
No snacks.
Kind of weird there's no one here, since this is where Dad was sending us.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't have come here.
Yes. They have the egg and everything! Good boy. Hello, friend.
Aunt Amaya?
Oh.
Extremely safe. Safe and alone. No one here but us and all your human troops.
Callum, you know it doesn't help to yell.
How often does he get told that?
Human troops like that.
I skipped breakfast? I'm sorry.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
These babies.
Above all, see to it that my sons are safe.
Wait, there's more on the back.
P.S. Once their safety is assured, the boys may wish to build a dirt man. We do not wish to build a dirt man.
We do not.
You're safe now, boys.
If we just explain everything...
It won't work. Humans and elves don't trust each other.
I need to prove that they can.
Take this egg back to Zadia. We have to find Rayla.
You trust
Get
Rayla.
out of here.
Rayla, hide. Don't go for the cube. Callum can get it now. What are you doing? This had better be an important box. I'm here with the boy. Oh, she doesn't know who that is, does she? Jesus. Fuck, she'd have killed her. This is going well. Really well.
Careful with those.
She'll know what to do.
Have you met Bait? Say
Bait.
hello to my little friend.
Made enough noise. You're a fool for cutting at the ropes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Come on.
Oof. Oh lord, you're gonna have to talk to your aunt.
Callum, Ezrin, come here.
Talk to her.
What are you saying?
He says, if we don't let you go, you'll kill them. You are a monster.
Right, so you have to let us go.
I've slain monsters before.
Callum, that's not gonna
Damn it,
work.
take her out.
The answer would be to try and prove to them that she's not a threat. Jesus. Jesus!
Go ahead. Take another shot. But read my lips.
But now they're gonna be after us?
Humans. I don't think a boat.
Just get in.
What other choice do we have right now? Jesus.
Free them.
The rest of
We
you,
should have tried to
ride with me.
explain. Ask to speak to their aunt in private or something.
I can't believe you're such a jerk.
What? What's wrong?
You called me a bloodthirsty monster.
Mhm.
You have no idea how that feels.
You found it?
Oh,
It's a
bless.
Probably a piece from a children's game. I hope it was worth it to you.
Given that it was in the
Maybe
games
everyone's
room,
lives in danger.
I did suspect as much. Unless maybe it could be a tool for training mages. Ooh.
Loss of his sons, our princes, is a greater injustice. By taking the heirs
What will
to the
happen
throne,
when they get
our
proven to be
enemies sought
alive?
to leave us, allow the kingdom he loved to be lost in
Why don't we
darkness.
vote on who it should be?
Though it is a heavy burden, I will humbly take up the battle.
Sure
in
you will.
Hela's name, Lord Protector of the realm.
Ooh, okay, so he's not going for king. He knows that would be a step too far. For now, at least. And at least Lord Protector we can easily overthrow. Or is this message that the princes are alive?
Stop the coronation! The princes are alive!
Ho, ho, ho. What did he think? Did he think because they were missing, or did he think once it was on his head it would be too late for them to stop it? I do think the boys should have just spoken to their aunt. I mean, going to the lodge was ridiculously risky as it was, though hopefully it's going to be some kind of teaching young mages how to use their magic tool that could be useful to Callum. But I think their aunt truly cared about them. Once they'd arrived, they should have said, look, can we speak to you alone? And, you know, even had like Ezra hide the egg somewhere and then Callum talk to her alone or something. Because she cared about them. she isn't completely, you know, she's not a horrible person. Yes, she's maybe biased from years of being told elves are evil and fighting elves in battles or whatever, but I do think there's a chance she would have helped them. I mean, the fact that they're here, they're not here against their will, the fact that they know that this injustice has been done, I think their aunt seemed like a good person, so she probably would have helped them, or I don't know. I think, again, him choosing to go down the tactic of she's evil and she'll kill us, no. If they hadn't believed that she's a good elf on our side, if she just thought, oh, these poor boys, you know, they're being brainwashed, they're being tricked, manipulated because they're naive, and this elf is trying to smuggle them back to Zadia so that they can be prisoners of war or whatever, she would have still tried to kill Rayla. But I do think it's interesting that, I think the fact that they refused to even try and convince their aunt maybe shows you how deep this elf hatred really does go. And I thought it was interesting that her feelings were hurt, because what do they say about humans in, like, I feel like anytime we've had the elves talk about humans, it's been quite negatively. But I suppose maybe they haven't demonised them into being monsters in such other ways. But you can sort of see why, and you know why he did it. I get her being upset by it, but it was just a very frustrating day. They went out of their way into danger for no real reason. She nearly died multiple times. She lost a bit of her hair, which is truly distressing. I am glad the kingdom knows they're alive, but it's interesting because I don't think the mage guy could have thought they were dead, because he would have seen their bodies. He must have just assumed, or did he truly assume they were dead because they were nowhere to be seen? You'd have thought he'd have had someone rushing off to that lodge to try and see if they end up running there, or what happened. Was he simply hoping that once he was Lord Protector, once enough time had passed, once he'd proven that he was a great, wonderful king, no one would want little boys over him? He was playing a risky game, basically, but I suppose he thought once he had the power behind him, who's really going to rally against two weak, defenceless children when he is this great, wonderful, mighty mage? So, yes, it's interesting because obviously the aunt said someone's trying to get out of the boys. Again, if we could get this guy on our side, that could be good. I think the aunt would have their best interests at mind, truly, and maybe with enough time could believe the truth about Rayla as well. So at least we have somebody looking out for the boys, and the ordinary people of the kingdom, if they were to learn, oh, those are the princes, they seem quite pro the princes. Whereas for Rayla, I feel like there's no one looking out for her right now. I mean, I don't know how much of a message the Firebird thing sent, but I suppose once they get to Zadia, elves might see her as one of their own, surviving the assassination or whatever, and not know that she'd betrayed them. But obviously the mage is going to want something to happen that kills the princes, and if he can blame the elves, most in particular the elf that has got them prisoner, I do think he will take it. Now, Lord Protector isn't king. Lord Protector would commonly be a title you'd take to protect while a king was young or whatever. I don't know whether he could still try and claim that, because he could do it on behalf of the princes, because the prince is a child and they're being held hostage. Now, an elf having kidnapped them would probably play into his hands, because yes, the elves having killed the princes, but now we can go to war to get them back. It's all going to be very elaborate. And to think it started over the death of a baby egg, and now it's this, it's all a mess. So this was a good episode. It was I loved seeing another person that's important to the boys, to know that they haven't lost all family. I loved the representation that her character brought in, and I'm just intrigued to see where this goes, to see how these characters develop. I think we're seeing them, really these kids being put into such a situation that none of them would have ever expected. Because even if Rayla wasn't exactly the most prepared to take a life on the night when she had the guy at sword point or whatever, even if she wasn't necessarily ready for this mission, I do think that going against her own people and now trying to take on this mission that could determine the future of the whole world is a big deal for these three babies. So I four babies, I'm sorry Baked. This was a brilliant episode. Thank you so much Albert for sponsoring. My goodness, you both, your names start with A and my brain is like, they must be the same. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much Albert for sponsoring, and thank you for watching.